Hi everybody. I'm here today wanting to talk a little bit about cyanobacteria, or as some people know it as red slime algae. Everybody's had it from time to time in their tank. Unfortunately, it can come in on live rock, coral frags, etc. Cyanobacteria is actually a bacteria, not an algae, which I'm sure most people are aware of that. When I first got it several years ago, I tried everything from siphoning it out when I did a water change to scrubbing rocks off, picking it off rocks, and it would just come back the next day 10 times worse. So, the first time I got it several years ago, I used Boyd's Chemi Pure Blue Carbon, which I love. So I went to back to that company, and they had ChemiClean, which is for cyanobacteria. And the first time I used it, I got the powder. This time I have the liquid. So this time, which was a couple of weeks ago, I had to use it. So I'm going to give you some tips or tricks or hints or whatever. Hopefully it'll help anybody out who's battling with some cyanobacteria in their tank. On the liquid, it tells you to put in 1 drop per gallon of tank water. So I have 80 gallons in my aquarium, including the sump in the back. And so I did 80 drops. And on the packaging, it tells you to leave the skimmer on, but take out the carbon. Now, on a lot of websites, when you go to buy it, it'll say to turn the skimmer off. And that is completely untrue. There's no need to turn the skimmer off. The skimmer pumps oxygen into your water, and that's the key. The compound in ChemiClean depletes some oxygen in the water, and you want your tank inhabitants to have plenty of oxygen. So I leave the protein skimmer on. I take all of my return nozzles. I have 4 of those. I point them at the surface of my tank. You want plenty of surface movement. I also turn my MP40 up a couple notches to allow for also more surface movement. I usually have a lot of surface movement anyway, but you want extra when using this. So the first day one, I added 80 drops to my tank. You then, like I said, leave the skimmer on. The skimmer will usually overproduce skim mate for the first day. You kind of watch it, empty it as needed, and then it goes back to normal after that. It says after 24 to 48 hours to do a 20% gallon or 20% water change. I went ahead and I always wait 48 hours. So I wait 2 days to do my water change to make sure it's all gone. So I did that. I went and waited 48 hours, and then I did a 20% water change on my aquarium, and then put the carbon back in. And after that, I mean, everything, all the cyano was gone, no trace of it anywhere. If you catch it early enough, you can get by with one time. Now, a few years ago, I didn't know what to do. I didn't catch it early enough, and it had spread to every surface in my aquarium, rocks, sand, everything. So I had to do it twice. So at that point, if you find yourself in a position to have to do it twice, follow the same instructions. At the end of 48 hours, you'd still need to do a 20% water change. Then you want to go ahead and add ChemiClean again, just like you did the first time, and wait another 48 hours and do a 20% water change at the end of that also. So you're basically repeating what you did the first time, you're repeating it the second time also. But keep in mind, a lot of the horror stories on reviews and stuff you read online, if people don't follow the exact instruction in ChemiClean, it'll cause problems. You have to keep the oxygen up in your tank. That's the most important part. The compounds in ChemiClean are not harmful to anything. As you can see, my anemone's still thriving. Everything's good. Coral's good. Clam's good. They haven't lost any fish. Acaine colony's doing good. Everything's doing good. Nothing's closed up. Everything is perfectly fine in my tank. No issues whatsoever from using the ChemiClean, nor did I have any issues in the first time I used it. But just keep in mind, you definitely want to keep the oxygen up in the tank as high as you can go. But it definitely, you didn't have to worry about it coming back the next day, and I don't know if mine might have came on a piece of rock. I don't know, or a coral I bought. I have no idea. You know, my phosphates are 0 in my tank, and my nitrates are under 10 parts per million, probably about 5, I believe, last time I checked last week. So, so I'm not sure exactly how it got there, but it did. So that's how you use ChemiClean, and and again, it's not harmful. Like I said, just like everybody else, I read reviews, and it almost scares you that when people talk about their whole tank was wiped out. When I investigated further, if you don't point the power heads at the top of the surface of the water, if you don't do your, if you don't do your 20% water change and all that kind of stuff, I can see where things might get harmed that way. But other than that, excellent product. I did this on my own. Obviously, I don't know anybody at Boyd Enterprises or anything like that to give me any money for this, but I just wanted to not so much promote ChemiClean, but I wanted to let people know, that this product does work. And I know it's a hassle. I see it on forums all the time trying to get rid of cyanobacteria. But I wanted, to let people know that it is safe, and if used correctly, it's excellent. It's an excellent tool to use. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and happy reaping.